both my parents were really community oriented. They were both politicians in my hometown. And they've always instilled us, even like when we were walking, I can remember like just volunteering and doing all kinds of things in the community. So by high school, I had thousands and thousands of hours of just volunteering.
Wow.
So, and I'm in a sorority, and that's what we do. You know, we give back to the community. So volunteering, that's just in me. You know, it's in my heart to do that. But here at the YMCA, it kind of started when Dan, you know, approached me about becoming a member of the board. And just some of the events that we've had, and you know, doing the legwork on the on the inside before we have events, has been really a blessing for me as well as my family. But that's kind of where it started with the YMCA. He just kind of asked me to do it, and it was already in me, so it's quite easy to volunteer.
It really comes down to the kids. It's you know, kids have always just had a special place in my heart. My kids as well as all the others. It's when we would growing up playing sports, it's just those were all my best friends, the friends that I made through the Y and through playing sports growing up. So really just try to help foster that sense of community with the kids and those relationships for all the kids as they grow up. And trying to be a role model, doing my best. You know, we all need to do our best to help raise all the kids. You know, and we always say it takes a village, and just being a part of that village, and I'm just trying to help the kids grow up to be the best they can be.
I think really having my family involved in it. My oldest two are 11 and 7, rough and tumble boys who love being outside. So they come to boot camp with me when they can, when they're out of school or during summer and things like that. So that then translates to, okay, they now go to events with me too and help out with, you know, the 5K or, you know, whatever event we have going on. They're a part of that. So that's important when you are volunteering in the community. It's great that it can also be family time. It can be something that I'm trying to teach my kids. This is something important by doing it and showing them. You know, so on this coming Saturday, we'll be getting up very early to be, you know, at the 5K, not just because they want to be there, but because we're going down. That's rewarding for me. Is I'm not taking any time away from my family, but it just kind of encompasses the whole family.
Biggest reward. It's when you're coaching these kids. You know, you have kids that have played soccer since they were 6, growing up to being 14 years old now, or it's their first time playing soccer. But when you see something click in their head during a game or during practice, and you see their eyes light up when they, you know, if they score their first goal or they make a good defensive play, and you see they're like, oh wow, I can do this. When they get that, when they feel empowered to be out there on the field and play, that's just the most rewarding feeling in the world.
Well, you know, as a Christian, I feel it in my heart to serve, and it's just another way that I can serve people. And you know, you always get more out of it than you put into it. And when people say, oh, I'm going to come back to your class because you're teaching today, it makes you feel good. It makes them feel good as well for coming. I think I think we're really called to serve in whatever we do, and this is just another way that I can serve.
It has impacted me in so many ways. I would say since my mom passed. My mom actually passed in 2012, but I never stopped grieving. I'm that person that has grieved like forever. It literally has taken me forever to grieve. So I'm that rare person maybe in some cases, you know. And I started to kind of isolate myself a little bit, not with the community, but just within my own self, you know. I would just but coming back here to the Y, being here at the Y and meeting new people and the YMCA family that I have and the friends that I've gained, I mean, it has really helped me so much with grieving. Like, it's amazing. And I lost my dad a few years ago, and then my brother like almost a year exact after that. So just having, you know, the boot camp family and my friends that I have here to kind of help me through it, and texting me every day, and we still text every day, you know. So yeah, personally, that has really, really helped me a lot.
Being able to boil down the meaning in just a few words is really difficult because there's so much that it does mean to to me for sure, but all the people around me that when you ask somebody, what's your why story? They're going to have something that connects them to this community. And that's what it always is. It brings people back to a community. I love to think of the why as that third space that, you know, we're not expecting to spend any money when you're here. Yeah, you have a membership, but it's very, you know, for what most people spend on takeout, you know, they can have a membership and they are, but they're not expected to spend any money here. They're not expected to do any work here. It's really just a place to be, a place to exercise, a place to clear your mind, go in the chapel if you need to, or, you know, go see somebody using a machine and say, hey, I've never used that one. Would you mind letting me, you know, showing me exactly what you're doing? That's the kind of people that are at the Y. So you can be confident that when you're here, that you're going to encounter people that are absolutely willing to help.
So we talk a lot about what is your why story? So many people have their why stories as I grew up in the Y, or my parents went to the Y, so I went to the Y, and I didn't have that. I grew up in a community that didn't have access to the Y, didn't have a Y presence. So the first time I stepped foot into the Y was when I was probably 30 at 5:40 in the morning to go to a boot camp class. So really all I ever thought of the Y was more of a gym, I guess. And you know, it carried on a little bit like that, and COVID hit. And so the gym was closed down for a couple of months, and then when it finally opened back up, on the way to the gym one morning, and again, 5:30 in the morning, there was a line of cars all the way down Gilliamville. So by the time we got our way into the parking lot, I asked Dan, I said, what are all those cars doing out there? And he said, oh, we're doing a food drive. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Do you need some help? And he said, yes, actually. So I started helping then, and we did that food drive for every Wednesday for several months. And I guess it was that moment that I realized the Y was more than just a gym.
Don't hold back and don't be scared. It's you know, it's one of those. I know I have talked with other parents that want to get involved in coaching or want to get involved in volunteering. They're like, well, I don't know anything about the sport. We're like, that's what all the other experienced coaches are here for too. We're here to help. You know, there's text strings with all the coaches where we try to help covering practices or coaching ideas or things during the summer for off-season training or anything like that. It's you know, the Y is about community. And we're a community, and we're here to help. So don't let inexperience keep you from wanting to volunteer. And it just, you know, the slogan, find your why, why you want to help volunteer. And I promise you'll find one, and it's definitely rewarding.
I think they ought to just do it. They ought to come. If they have a skill, the Y can put them to work. I coached my son's basketball team at the Y here as a volunteer. And so it's a good family time. I'm sure there's always need for soccer coaches and basketball coaches and everything else. And it's a great family thing. We're often so busy. Our kids are going one way and we're going another way. It's a great way for families to develop, a great way for relationships to develop. And it's a great way to show caring for people in needs that they're going through. And it's just, again, just a nice place to greet, like the old show said, where everybody knows your name. You know?
I would encourage anyone to volunteer for the Y. Just, you know, they do so much for the community, and it's so important for the community. And there are people that I've met in this YMCA, whether working out or on the board, that I consider very good friends and I'm very thankful to have met, that I never would have crossed paths with if it wasn't for the YMCA.